too, by the way, not to be confusing. I'm Kelly, she's Kelly. People are probably like, why is she saying Kelly? Isn't that her name? Okay, so
We're going.
it's going.
Yep. So
We're going.
let me get these on.
All gets, well,
It's got all janky here.
the video version we call like our behind the scenes. We don't edit the video version because that would be like super time consuming every week.
Too much.
We do get the audio version edited, and then the audio version goes on Spotify and
You send me a link.
everywhere. Absolutely. Yep. So it'll all go live on Friday, and we will send you everything, girl. Then you can share it away.
I'll share it away.
Yay! All right.
All right, hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
Nick's
Sorry.
adjusting.
Sorry, I'm screwing with the thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're here this week. Nick's back. I'm back. We're
Hi,
both
everybody.
back. The last 2 weeks we've had our
Yeah.
guest. We've had our guest host Fiona.
You and I have not seen each other in 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
So-
Mhm. No, I was out on vacation, and then Nick was out, and
Yeah.
it's like every once in a while we leave this place.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sometimes.
Anyways, this week we're here with Stephanie Pereira de Silva. Woo!
Job.
Yay! I know. I'm like, I got it right. She's the executive director of PDS Fusion Inc. and owner of Fusion Footwear.
Hi.
And we are going to talk all about everything that she's doing with her business. But first, let's have a little intro.
In the know in the 920.
There it is. Our little jingle. All right. So, Stephanie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
I'm
having me.
super excited. From what you were telling me before we got started, I feel like you have a lot of good information to share. And that's another big part of the reason I love doing this is because when I was started a podcast, I'm like, okay, I want to promote, again, local businesses, events, things that are happening in the 920. But I also just love hearing about other people's journeys because I know my journey was full of ups and downs. And, it's always, I think a lot of times people see where you are today and they think like that's how it always has been. And that's not always the case, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll get all into that. I'm very excited about it. First, let's talk quickly about a few listings that we have.
Real estate.
Real estate.
Cool.
All right. So 1930 Emily Ann Drive in Oshkosh. It's listed for $355. It's super cute.
Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of this one, Nick?
I have not seen the pictures of
Okay, it's really cute. It's 3 beds, 2.5 baths, 2-car garage. It's available.
it. Yeah.
So everybody should check that one out. 2085 West Sugar Court in Appleton. That is a newer build.
Yep. Newer build.
Yep, 515, listed at 515. 4 beds, 3 baths, 3.5 car. 2051 Bear Paw Trail in Kaukauna, 449. That is new construction.
brand
correct?
new,
Yeah,
yep.
new construction. 3 beds, 2 baths, 3.5 car. 357. Now the people of Menasha can all go wild. Is it Onape?
On ape.
Onape?
I've always said it on ape.
Okay. Well, if you've said it that way, then that's for sure what it is. We're always debating. We're like, is it Onape? Who knows? Onape Street, Menasha, 239.9. 4 beds, 2.5 baths, 2-car. Pretty darn good deal. It's hard to get anything under $250 nowadays. So that's pretty good. W4754 Nature Lane. I love this one. Such a pretty location in Sherwood.
Yep.
494.9. 4 beds, 3.5 baths, 3.5 car garage. It's got all the bells and whistles for under $500. And then 444 Patrick Street in Combined Locks, Kimberly Schools, which a lot of people absolutely love. Under $250, 249.9. 3 beds, 2 baths, 2.5 car garage.
Very
So,
cool.
I mean, we just alone have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 active listings.
Wow.
Get out there and get some real estate,
Yeah.
everybody. For real, right? And on that note, let's talk about interest rates for a second, Nick.
Okay.
What do you think about interest rates right now?
Interest rates, I think I care about as much, or I care about interest rates as much as I normally do at this time.
Okay, good. Which
yeah,
is
I mean,
a lot, right?
which is honestly not that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, rates always fluctuate. They go up and down. It's cyclical. It's always going to happen that there's going to be times where rates are lower. There's going to be times where rates are higher. Depends a lot on a bunch of stuff that I haven't figured out. I'm no economist. But, yeah.
Are you worried about the election?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, whoever wins, really, it's not going to have much impact on what's going on.
It's much ado about nothing, typically, historically speaking.
Historically speaking, in the past, it's like the last 10 elections, it's sort of been a coin toss of whether rates go up or down after the election. It really doesn't seem to matter.
And we're talking about rates. We're not talking about much ado about nothing about the actual election. We're just talking about the interest rates.
Yep.
Typically, people around this time of year, we end up hearing from them, I'm going to wait until after the election, see what happens to the interest rates.
And there's a ton of people that are sort of in that
Yeah.
holding pattern right now. So what we're actually seeing is houses end up sitting on the market and actually end up going at or below the asking price. Right. A house that, a couple months ago when there was a bunch of buyers looking, that house might have gone $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over the asking price. So in people waiting to save, a 0.5% or a percentage point in interest,
Correct.
they're paying $25,000 more than they might have on the house. And the thing is, you could always wait after you're in the house. You could wait for rates to go down later. Refinance. And I guarantee you that refi is going to cost you a lot less than $20,000.
Correct.
So
what you're saying is now is a good time to buy.
Yeah.
It's as good of a time as any, really.
It's that old cliche that lenders say, date the rate, marry the house.
It's true. It really is true. And the thing is that, again, if we look at historical data, there's times this is in my lifetime, in the 80s, and even in the 90s, when interest rates were over 10%.
Yeah.
So I think we need to move past, everybody got so excited, myself included, about the interest rates of 2020.
Yes.
During the pandemic, but those were driven by the pandemic.
Right.
And again, historically speaking, we get a pandemic once about every 100 years.
Yeah.
So we're not going to see those interest rates again anytime in the near future unless something crazy happens.
And that's a great point, because what I always do to illustrate that point further is that those rates were so unprecedented, they're not coming back. At the same time that, interest rates were in the twos, I was paying 99 cents for a gallon of gas.
Right.
So that's not coming back either.
It's all relative, and it's not, it's not coming back. And I think interest rates in the 5s and 6s are really actually very good rates. They're very normal, very stable rates.
Yeah.
Even if they get into like the low 7s. I know it's not what everybody wants to hear and pay. I get that. But I think they're still really good rates. And you know what? And I know here's another cliche, but the rate on rent will always be 100%, right?
Yeah. How much of that money do you get back? None of it.
None of it. And most people, not all, but most people have a credit card or two or more if you're me. And those interest rates might be easily 15, 20% a lot of times on credit cards and things like that. So really, in the grand scheme of things, it's a great time to buy. Interest rates are really good. Don't worry about what the media puts out about the election or any of that, and just move forward. If you want to buy a house, buy a house. If you want to sell a house, sell your house. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the holidays too, Nick, coming up? Do you think that affects, should we not sell during the holidays?
I think some people get discouraged about, undertaking large projects around, planning events and trips and whatever.
Sure.
I get that.
Yeah.
I don't really think that the holidays change much, though.
No.
I mean, there's fewer buyers, there's fewer listings, so at the end of the day, it ends up still being the same number.
It all
of eyes
balances
on
out.
everything.
We've always been active during the winter. I'm not going to say crazy busy, because crazy busy is the spring market, but we've always been active. So I would encourage people, especially if you're in a position where you need to sell for any reason, go ahead and sell. Put out I can't speak today. The Halloween decor, the Christmas decor. People actually enjoy seeing it. Cool. It can actually be fun. So I just think everybody needs to, buy and sell. I don't know why I think that way, but I just do.
I honestly think that that's one of the biggest visualization techniques that I tell buyers is like, can you imagine where your Christmas tree would go in this house?
There you go.
And if they can't, then it's like, well, why are we even looking at it?
Exactly, which is why I need to buy a new house because my Christmas tree has never fit properly.
Yep.
All right. Anyways,
we'll wrap up.
Little bit about real estate. Now let's talk to Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
So thank you again so much for being here.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
let me just reiterate. You are the executive director of PDS Fusion Inc. and owner of Fusion Footwear.
That is correct.
I love it. So
Cool.
tell us all about your journey. Well, first of all, I guess tell us a little bit about the business, what you are offering today.
So currently we own Fusion Footwear.
Mm-hmm.
Fusion Footwear is located in Oshkosh. We're just about 8 days away from moving into our new building.
Yeah, which is
on-
exciting.
Yes, 1821 Witzel. So currently we're
Okay.
at 520
Ooh.
South Kohler.
Okay.
In Oshkosh, we're moving over to Witzel Street. We're just expanding, so we are able to offer a plethora of more services. More than just a retail store when you walk in. You'll be able to get a massage. You'll be able to talk to a sports nutritionist. And then we're also starting a partnership with Aurora Healthcare to have on-site physical therapy. And we'll be doing some small group personal training as well. So getting back to my roots in exercise physiology, kinesiology, and really expanding what Fusion Footwear can offer our community.
Sure. That's amazing. And by the way, anywhere I can go and get a massage, I'm game for. I mean, that's the first thing I hear there. All right. Well, very, very cool. So how did you get started? Take us back to the beginning of this journey.
I would say that when people ask that question, I've always been very active and I've always been very involved in our community. And I never really thought back, 20 years ago where this would lead out to.
Yeah.
But I went to UW Stevens Point. I have an undergraduate in health promotion and nutrition. And then I also got my master's degree from UW Stevens Point as well. After I graduated from Stevens Point, actually during my graduate program at Stevens Point, I was in Brazil, which is why I have that crazy fun last name.
Oh, cool.
I love your last name. I love it.
I married a Brazilian, so I
That
went
is
to
so fun.
Brazil on a summer project there for Campus Crusade, and ended up meeting my husband. I got back, finished out grad school, and then we moved to Green Bay. And I worked at the Green Bay YMCA as aquatics and preschool fitness director while he was finishing school. I liked it, and I feel like that was really my first step into nonprofit work.
Sure.
Being at a YMCA. I'd
Yeah.
worked at a Y as a lifeguard and a group exercise instructor for years before that. Then, as life would take us, we moved down to Madison.
Okay.
We loved living in Madison. It's a great place to live, very active.
Fun. Yeah.
I got myself involved in wellness in more of an insurance setting. I
Okay.
realized pretty quickly that I like to be up and moving around, and that insurance wellness was not going to be my future. I was actually headhunted from that position at
Sure.
WPS Health Insurance, and I started working at Kimberly-Clark in 2008.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I worked at Kimberly-Clark all the way up through the pandemic. Loved what I did. Thought
Gotcha.
that Kimberly-Clark would have probably been the end game
Yeah.
of all of that. But as, again, life just takes twists and turns. The pandemic came and new leadership came through Kimberly-Clark. It wasn't just what I was feeling was bringing me joy anymore. So I left Kimberly-Clark on April 1st of 2021.
Okay.
And really dived into the nonprofit world to start and really, I guess, exacerbate what we were doing with PDS Fusion. I had been doing PDS Fusion behind the scenes
Okay.
at Kimberly-Clark, so that really started in 2016.
Okay.
And that really was, more of a women's running group. We did the Oshkosh Summer Fun Runs.
Sure.
We did a Love to Run program with Bell and Health. We did other things, very low key from a nonprofit perspective. But when I left Kimberly-Clark in 2021, we decided to really jump in and discover how much work it actually takes to become an official 501c3. But we did.
I've heard this. I have a few friends that have gone through it, and
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It
Props
was
to you. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it took several months. We had a really great team. Our board of directors that we had from the beginning was amazing. And so We became an official nonprofit in 2022.
Okay.
And we expanded all the things that PDS Fusion Incorporated really was doing. So like what I was mentioning with the kids running program and the summer fun runs, we expanded into doing more collaborative work. So we started a collaboration with the Oshkosh Rec Department in Winnebago County called BAGO, which BAGO stands for Be Active, Go Outside. And we had really
that.
framed
cool.
that. Yeah, we were.
I need to
we're
say
big
my.
with letters.
I need to say that to myself once or twice a day. Be active. Go outside, Kelly. I
Yes,
love that.
BAGO. And we really mimicked it on the 920, right?
Yes.
So, and I think that.
And I love that too. When you
Yeah,
were telling me that before we started, I'm like, this is so fitting.
Yeah.
I love it.
We really just are encouraging people to get outside, get active, and have that intentional movement away from technology for 920 hours every year. And so we do different monthly programs that are free or very low cost for people to participate in, just really encouraging them to explore, our park system, what kind of events and activities are happening outside. What can you get your family involved in? What can you get your teams involved in?
Sure.
So we're doing a lot of things, really just kind of bridging the different groups in our community together.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
I love that. And okay, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot here, but what does 920 hours a year break down to?
So
Like weekly?
It's like 2.5 a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
2.5
Hours
a day
Yeah.
of like, get outside, get away from the computer screen.
Get off of technology.
Okay.
And note, obviously not everybody's going to be able to get outside 2.5 hours
Right.
every single day.
Sure.
But on a Saturday in the
Yeah.
summertime, what are you doing? Are you spending 6, 7, 8 hours outside?
Sure.
After school, after work? Are you going out for a walk? Are you going
Right.
swimming? Those hours just really do add up when
Sure.
you're putting that intentional movement into it.
That's a really good point.
And I mean, time outside too. That can be a lot of things. That can be like going to the zoo or
Yes.
like just being outdoors.
Yeah, just moving, walking around, especially, I think this is especially great in the world that we live in now because everything is so in front of a screen, So
I'm very guilty of that.
me too, but that's really great to be intentional about it. So I love that. Very cool.
Yeah. Kind of continuing on that journey, then I was approached to take over the Oshkosh Runaway Shoes in 2022. I laughed and thought, yeah, right, I'll never own a shoe store. But man, something must have changed inside my heart, and I decided to take over the Oshkosh Runaway Shoes. And so we turned that over into Fusion Footwear on December 1st of 2022.
Okay.
So it's been a crazy,
Yeah.
fun adventure the last 2 years of learning everything shoes and shoe world and running and walking and lifestyle and pickleball, right? All the
yes.
things.
Pickleball is
a
all
big
the
deal.
rage.
Yes, it's quite the rage.
Yeah. I'm sure it's like that's a whole different, you have a background in all of these things, but like now this is like a whole different, now you're running a shoe business.
Yes, and we want to be different, and I think that's what separates Fusion than going to any other, shoe retailer that's more of a sit and fit. We really invest in our staff, so the people that we've hired to be part of Fusion Footwear, we treat them like family, and so they learn the ins and outs of our business. They walk and talk the mission and vision of what we're doing, and they truly have the knowledge base to talk with assertiveness about what you need for your foot, and not just your foot. I mean, there's a lot of people that come in there that have back issues and shoulder issues and things that are going on. So my staff is fully trained and fully equipped to do that, and I think that's probably the best thing that we've gotten out of the shoe store is that we've built this community. And the community that trusts us and they expect us to, sort of deliver this top-notch service. And we're very proud of that. We're very proud of being different than anybody else. You're right. We're not going to be able to give you a BOGO, buy one, get one deal.
Sure.
But you're getting our service, our knowledge, and we're really putting your faith in us to really deliver something that's going to make you feel better about yourself.
Well, I can attest to a little story recently where I was in Charleston. That's where I was when I said I was gone a couple weeks ago. My husband and I love going there. We went there to celebrate our 15th wedding anniversary. And when I'm in Charleston, I walk a lot. I've actually said to him, if I lived there, I would be so healthy because I just walk and I just look at all the beautiful old homes. And that's just really my jam. I love that. But anyways, I always, and I do this when we go to Disney, and he knows it, I always buy like this new cute pair of shoes. And on this particular trip, I had my cute little Michael Kors tennis shoes.
Oh, did you break them in first?
I had worn them before,
Okay.
but never to the extent of now the walking that we're doing. In Charleston, we're walking like, no joke, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 miles a day because I just love it so much. And the weather's so great. And after like day 2, he's like, your feet hurt, don't they? And I'm like, they really do. And so we went to this shoe store in Charleston. Again, more of a, personalized service and not just like, here you go kind of thing. And I bought the most expensive pair of tennis shoes that I've ever purchased. However, they are amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like life changing.
Well, what ones did you get?
I don't even remember what they're called now, but they're so great. They're just Fit Flops, I think is what they're called. But they're not, Fit Flop is like the brand.
Okay.
And they do have like a flip flop that's supposed to be good for like longer walks and
So you
things.
can get a fit flop flip flop.
Correct.
Cool.
Say that 10 times fast.
Nope.
But they also obviously have a tennis shoe line. That is what it's called. Yes, Fit Flop. And let me just tell you, I mean, for real, it was like literally life-changing. Not life-changing, but like I know what you mean when you're saying that because it was getting to the point by like day 2, I was like, I'm not going to be able to walk anymore. And I love walking around here, and those shoes, I walked lots and lots and lots and lots more miles. So I know how important it can be.
Yes. I think that people too, sometimes when they think, especially locally, about, a running store, they think immediately that it's just for elite runners. And we want to
Right.
break that
Right.
down.
That's good to know because
it's not.
I thank you for saying that because sometimes the whole world of, whether it's a gym or a shoe store or, Lululemon or whatever it is, it's intimidating, right? Because you're like, do I belong there? Yeah. So that's good to hear.
I mean, I think if you asked a lot of other independent run specialty stores, that's what we're classified as. Our customer base is mostly lifestyle walkers,
Sure.
people that are, in healthcare or, postal workers or we get a lot of people in Oshkosh, that work in the prison system, that they're on their feet a lot and their body hurts.
Yeah.
And so we're fitting them for their life versus an athletic event. Now, don't get me wrong. We love working with runners and athletes and pickleballers and all the things. And we can fit you in shoes for that as well. But our goal is to really look holistically, like where are you at today? And we'll meet you at that need.
That's great. Honestly, that is so great because I think too, I mean, you obviously are way more well-versed about the physical fitness world than I, but walking can be so good, right?
Walking's amazing.
Yeah. And I think sometimes it just gets a little underrated. Like everybody's like, oh, I got to try this new cool thing. And those things can be great too, but just get out there and go for a walk.
Intentional movement, whatever you
Right?
do. If you like to go for
Yeah.
a bike ride, if you like to walk,
Yeah.
we have to stop thinking that you have to be, badass and do all of this
Right.
hardcore stuff all the
Sure.
time. A lot of it's just making intentional decisions. Are you
Sure.
parking further away? And I feel like that's where Bago and our nonprofit really comes in. We do such a variety of different programs and for all different age groups. And so, it's nice to get outside. Like for one of the things we do for Bago is we do snowshoeing and we do
Ooh, that's fun.
night hike
Yeah.
in January because so many people don't want to go outside or they're scared to go outside in the winter. And we talk through like how do you dress appropriately to be able to enjoy. Wisconsin winters are amazing if you just have the right gear to get outside and enjoy it.
I'm like, yeah, Stephanie, I love winter.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean though. It does make a big difference. If you're prepared for it and all of the things, it does make a big difference. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right. So you kind of told us what you were doing prior to starting this business. I mean, you did all sorts of things and you had a lot of education and you've done a lot of things.
I've done a lot of things. I've been a lot of places, done a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I love that we just keep sort of expanding of what we want to do and what we want to offer. And one of the best parts of what I'm doing right now is that I continue to find different ways to collaborate with different organizations and entities. One of the things that we just started partnering with is the Oshkosh Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, cool.
So we are partnering with the Oshkosh Boys and Girls Club to offer our running program, which our running program is one of those core programs of PDS Fusion Incorporated. Our running program is for kids ages 4K all the way through high school, and we mentor them to be able to run a 5K. And so the Boys and Girls Club actually came to us and said, hey, can we work together on doing this running program? And I love when entities come together versus trying to recreate the wheel. So
agree.
the Boys and Girls Club coming to us saying like, hey, you're doing something really awesome here. How do we work together? And so the Boys and Girls Club actually scholarships several of the kiddos that are at the Boys and Girls Club, and they actually transport them to where we have running club on fall season was on Tuesday nights. Winter season that starts next week is on Monday nights. But the Boys and Girls Club actually transports them over to us and then transports them back to the Boys and Girls Club for that hour and a half that they're with us. So that's been a really great collaboration, and watching these kids that maybe would never have been exposed to doing a organized 5K race complete something like that is just truly amazing. We had quite the experience this last Saturday. We did our Haunted Hustle, which is our culmination to our fall season, our fall 5K. Fun, dark, all the things.
Love it. Yep.
Yes, and seeing kiddos finish that, maybe some of them struggled to finish at the end, but the end result is that they all did finish.
That's amazing.
And we welcome in that last runner with the same intensity that we offer to the first runner that comes in. Because
so
no matter
rewarding,
the pace,
right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is really rewarding.
Oh, I love this. You're just doing so many great things in the community.
Well, and Oshkosh has a lot of cool places for running.
It does.
I love Menominee Park. It's so good.
Yes, Menominee Park is beautiful.
So we do primarily, most of our running happens in Winnebago County Park, which is
Okay.
probably one of our most underutilized parks in the Oshkosh area.
Okay.
It's got very nice, wide open trails, and it's very well lit. And so when our kids are training, we train for 6 weeks for this. It's perfect because if for some reason a kid gets ahead, there's always an adult ahead of them.
Sure.
And we feel it's pretty safe too, right? It's a great location.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of our running is in Winnebago County Park.
Okay.
Cool.
Good to know. I'll have to check that out sometime.
Yeah.
So, what do you think have been some of the biggest obstacles, or the biggest thing that you've learned from all of this? I always say, like, I could write a book on the things that I've done wrong, not wrong, but you learn, right, as you go, and then you take that and I think you kind of make it into something positive, right?
Absolutely. I would agree. I could write a book on what it is to do wellness in the community, as well as working with people, working
Sure.
with the general public, which I'm sure
Yep.
you both can agree with. I think my biggest learning is that you cannot please everybody.
Ugh.
That we can offer
Yes.
all of these programs and all of these services, and you can do all of these amazing things, and you cannot please everybody. You might try, and we might bust hard to do it, but you can't please everybody.
Right.
And then the second lesson that I actually had to be reminded of this last weekend, which was from my husband, and I think it's a really great one for all of us to take away, is that you can do all these programs. You can have 1,000 people come out to these different events, and you can do all these, great, amazing things. But it's really, what are you doing to change their life? So if you change just one life, that is all that matters. That is all the difference. And my husband did a lot of volunteer and missionary work when he lived in Brazil as well. And so that was something that he's always kept in his mind, is that you might not change the masses, but if you change that one and they go on and change one and they go on and change one, that's really what matters. And for a lot of us that have been in the program for so long, we're seeing some of these kids that were in the program, all the way back, like I said, in 2016, that are now in high school, and are coming back to mentor the younger kids.
That's
And my
awesome.
daughter is one of them.
Oh, I love that.
And we love that. And we love that, we taught her that giving back to the community and mentoring kids that are younger than you is something that should be at your core values. And so it's been really rewarding watching that.
Pay it forward.
Yes.
I love that.
Absolutely.
And that is such a good reminder lesson as well, because I think we live in a world where it's like we all want, everything. We want to be everything to everyone all the time. I know, and I think you have to figure out the things that you're really good at and intentional about, and go with those things, right? And yes, that may not reach everybody, but if we reach, like you said, even one person, that's doing a heck of a lot more than sitting on the couch not doing any of it, right? So I think that's a really good lesson, because I get sometimes too so wrapped up in like, okay, well, what else can I do? What else can I be doing? Instead of just focus on like, what do I already have going? How could I be more impactful in what I already am doing versus trying to figure out, another thing to do.
Right.
So that's awesome. I love it. Where would you like to see the business and the charity in like 5 years? What is your more long-term goal, my dear?
Ooh, okay, so from the Fusion Footwear perspective, I would love to see us maximize this new beautiful space and the new beautiful square footage where we're not toppling over each other. It'll be so nice to breathe and have space to do the things that we want. So I see us continuing to expand services, expand community collaborations. I see in our strategic plan, I see lots of fun adventures that Fusion Footwear will take over the next 3 to 5 years, but I just see us growing and continuing to be that leader in the community that's really helping people have a positive and healthy lifestyle.
Sure.
From a nonprofit perspective, we really pride ourselves too on that. All of the fundraising, all of the sponsorship money, 100% goes back into the programs. We have 0 paid staff. And so to be able to run a nonprofit on volunteer service is rare.
Yes.
And I would love to see us continue to be able to do that with the great community of people that we had. Obviously, selfishly, I would love to maybe work towards being a paid executive director one day.
Sure.
Right? Shouldn't everybody?
Yeah. Absolutely, you
Right.
should be. Yes.
But at this time, I feel like that's a huge differentiator between us and other nonprofits is that we truly put 100% of every dollar, every amount that comes back to us, it goes into the program, whether it be to pay for a registration fee for an event, whether it is program supplies for the different things we're offering. And one other program that we've done that has been sort of pinnacle for us is our Kicks for Kids program. And our Kicks for Kids program puts shoes on kids in our community that would not be able to afford them, whether it be for high school or middle school athletics. We've actually had some collegiate athletes that have come to us and fill out our scholarship application. We donate a lot of shoes back to local schools in our area, not just Oshkosh, but Amro and the surrounding communities, for gym teachers to be able to have good shoes on their kids' feet, to be able to participate. Those types of experiences for me have been so there's not words to describe it. I guess it's really hard for me. I was at my daughter's cross country meet just a few weeks back, and I had at 2 different stops on the cross country course, I had 2 different athletes that pulled me over to the side and were like, Coach Stephanie, oh my gosh, look at my feet. I went so fast today. Thank you so much for these shoes.
Yeah.
So the gratitude that these kids have,
Cool.
and they look at us wearing Fusion Footwear, and they associate our brand with what, honestly, kindness.
Yeah.
They associate us with like, we're kind and we want to help get this on their feet. We don't want to kick back. We just want to get them, to feel that it's an equitable opportunity for them in sport.
Yeah. I love
very
that.
cool.
Very, very, very cool. And I love that you're able to help so many people throughout the community too, because There is always a need.
Always.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so how can people best, well, and I know you gave us the address, but can you re-give us your current address and then the new address?
Absolutely.
And also just other ways to best get in touch with you.
Well, considering this is a real estate podcast, right? So our current building, which is 520 South Kohler in Oshkosh, is actually up for lease right now. So if you're looking for highway-facing property, this is a great opportunity to jump in. Otherwise, we're going to be just kind of putting it out there for subleasers or even rental. It's going to be perfectly suited for anybody that wants, like an office space or even to do yoga classes or whatnot. So that building will be cleared out relatively soon. We will be moving over to 1821 Witzel Street, so just a quarter mile down from our current location, still Highway 41 facing. You can enter it from Kohler Street by Marcus Cinema, or you can enter in on Witzel by Steins. That will open to the public on Monday, November 4th.
Okay.
We have a big event.
That's quick.
It's very quick. I'm getting a little anxiety.
Yeah.
We got this.
We have a little bit going on.
Got this.
Yeah.
We have a big event on November 6th, which is our Breast Night Ever in association with Aurora Healthcare.
Oh, cool.
So that's going to be honoring and doing some fundraising for some breast cancer research and support in the Valley. But that'll also be a soft opening for people to come in and visit our new Fusion Footwear.
Sure.
We also have our website, so www.fusionfootwear920.com. That also houses all of the information about our PDS Fusion Incorporated. So you'll see that tab right on the main homepage as well. Also, one of the best ways to connect with us is on our social channels, our Facebook, Instagram, all of those good things as well.
Okay.
Cool.
That is amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love how you incorporate the 920 in it too.
Yes, we do.
I've learned things.
Yes, I have too. I love learning things. I always say that's one of my favorite parts of the podcast. And I also love talking about weekend events because I actually, some of them I get excited about. And I'm like, I kind of want to go do that. Things that I wouldn't have even necessarily known were going on, So we'll get into that in a second. But thank you again so much for everything you're doing. And for educating us, and wish you so much luck with your new upcoming space. And I think it's going to be fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Everybody needs to get out there and visit you. All right. Are you ready to talk about the weekend, Nick?
Yeah.
I'm always ready to talk about the weekend.
Yeah. Can I start it off?
You sure can.
Okay. Because our first one is Funset Boulevard Halloween event.
I feel like you just wanted to say
I know.
that.
It's at Funset Boulevard. Friday, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Basic unlimited attractions, train, carousel, bumper cars, and playground, $8. Large one-topping pizza and one pitcher of soda for $19.95. Plus mystery prize bags for only 50 points. They're celebrating Halloween early as well. Our Candy Crane will be free to play while supplies last. Once you win, you let someone else go. Be kind.
I love that. That's really fun. I know my kids have off Thursday and Friday. I think a lot of schools maybe do. So that's probably where they're getting the 12 to 5 time frame. Love it. Very fun. All right, you want me to do the next one?
Yep.
Ghouls Night Out. So catchy these are. Sip, snack, craft, and shop. Friday, 5:30 to 8 at the Wonder Play Cafe. I've never heard of this place, have you?
Nope.
See, again, I'm learning things. Okay, it says, calling all fabulous ladies. Treat yourself at our exclusive No Kids, in all caps, Ghouls Night Out, where it's all about you. Join us on Friday, October 25th from 5:30 to 8 for a soiree like no other. Indulge in an evening of fun and relaxation, surrounded by fellow women who know how to have a great time. Here's what's included. 16-ounce drink of your choice, seasonal charcuterie table, DIY rollerball station,
Wow.
shop local vendors. So there'll be a bunch of local vendors there. Golden Hour Remedies, Stone and Suede, Leela and Rose Sourdough, Airy Point Farms, A&J Jewels, Old Fashioned Photo Bus.
Holy
All
cow.
kinds of stuff. Movie viewing, get cozy with a screening of the seasonal favorite Hocus Pocus. That's always a good one. And it says tickets are just $30 per person. They've only got 35 tickets available at this point. They're going fast. So, Wonder Play Cafe, Ghouls Night Out this Friday from 5:30 to 8. I'm sure if you Google it, you can get all of the info and check that out.
So next up, we've got Spooktacular Halloween.
I feel like these are all just really just
some
flowing.
cool puns.
You know, yeah.
So this is Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Oshkosh Area Humane Society. Stop by the shelter at 1925 Shelter Court in Oshkosh on Saturday for free family fun. The kids can enjoy free activities and games, go trunk-or-treating for free candy, spin our prize wheel, learn about animals, and even adopt a plushy, pre-loved pet to take home with them. Free goodie bags, too, for every family, while supplies last. Costumes encouraged. Reserve your free tickets for one of our arrival time slots, 11 a.m., 11:30, 12 p.m., or 12:30. Spreading out our visitor start time means everyone gets to spend plenty of time at each station and no one is crowded.
Okay, so Oshkosh Area Humane Society.
Yeah.
I love those events. The problem is for me is that if I go, I'll be taking home more animals, and I already have
Yeah.
3, so I better stop there. But that's a very awesome event. So 4th annual Little Bike Shop of Horrors. Again, just all the little punnies here. Little Bike Shop of Horrors Haunted Trail Halloween event. This sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Saturday, 1 to 4, Cranked Bike Studio. So it says, we're back at it again. Cranked Bike Studio and Mr. Wilson's Skate Shop are back with our community family-friendly Halloween event. And this year it will be bigger than ever. They have popular haunted trails. Every child gets a bag of candy. The kids, there'll be tattoos, face painting, a photo booth, coloring table, kids bike rodeo skills. Very cool.
Wow.
They're going to have a costume contest, and they will announce winners at 3:30 p.m. And again, this event is from 1 to 4 on Saturday.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff.
There's a lot of things going on there. I think it'll be really cool. Oh, and then it says after the shop closes at 4, they'll be hosting a haunted slow roll riding bikes looping the lake on the Trestle Trail.
Whoa.
Whoa. Get
That
out
sounds like
there
fun.
and get active.
Bago.
Right?
Yeah,
Be active.
Bago.
So Bago.
I love it. All right. Nick, I'll let you finish it up here.
All right, so then we end it with Mulberry Lane Farm Halloween Costume Party. Sunday, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Mulberry Lane
I
Farm.
love Mulberry Lane.
So the cost of the event is $15 in cash or $15.50 with a credit card per person. Ages 2 to 92.
Oh.
Under 24 months is actually free admission. Admission includes trip to the pumpkin patch. Children ages 2 to 13 will receive $2 off of their admission when they are dressed in their Halloween costume. At noon, they'll have a parade of costumes in the big barn. First place winner will receive a gift certificate for four people, with a $60 value to visit the farm in 2025. Second place is a gift card for 3. Third place is a gift card for 2. Contest guidelines. Oh, added points for being dressed as a farm animal. Added points for family participation.
I love it.
Limit 1 win per participant.
Okay.
All other farm activities will still be going on, so you can catch a chicken, pet a pig, milk a cow, hayride to the pumpkin patch, pick your own pumpkin, etc., etc.
There's usually adorable kitties there, too. I love that place. I have one question, though, Nick. It says from 2 to 92. Just wondering if you're over 92, can you still
I know. I was wondering about that.
Oh, my gosh. No, I love Mulberry Lane, and I think everybody should get out there, like you said, right?
Bago.
Bago.
Good.
I'm going to use that a lot from now on.
Yeah.
It just makes you feel good, too. Like when you go out and do things, on the weekend and just, well, anytime, but, get out of the house a little bit, right?
Yep.
Especially with the weather we've been having. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being here, Stephanie. I hope everybody checks you guys out, and I hope everybody checks out the weekend events and our real estate that we have for sale, too.
Yeah.
And have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. To contact the Kelly Davies Homes team for all of your buying and selling needs, call 920-791-9047. Find us on Facebook at the Kelly Davies Homes team or go to kellydavieshomes.com.